He's also one of the first sword and funk writers in the tradition of Charles R. Saunders, and he has also coined the term for steampunk as well. Anything else you want us to know about some of your many great projects, including your
Um,
novel, your first novel you did as well?
yeah, my first novel was Meji, which I just happened to have the perfect timing where, as I was about to release it, I met Charles Saunders, and I guess I got his stamp of approval because he read it and he liked it. So that actually started my writing, my sword and soul journey, and my publishing journey.
All right, thank you. Now he's being really humble, but you can look him up online. He's also been a person who has, I will say, um, also created some innovative new work in the canon of Black Panther. You can find some of his stories in the Black Panther anthologies, especially Black Panther Tales of Wakanda. And that was a very historic collection because it was the first prose collection around the Black Panther, edited by Jesse Holland. All right, so he's going to talk to us today about AI.
About AI.
Also, I also like to introduce Tim Fielder, but I will do that right before his presentation. All right, yeah, yeah. Look at those eyes. It's all yours, Milton Davis.
Okay. First of all, thank y'all for inviting me. I'm happy to be here. Being able to talk to you a little bit about my journey and how technology has helped us along. I want to start off by telling a short little story from my past life. I'm a research chemist by trade. I've been doing this for I'm a manager right now. I'm doing it for years, but a few years ago, I was working for a company, and we had a person coming in that was developing a program for us to do create a technical report. It was something that was supposed to gather our data and make it into a report that would print out. And this guy had been coming in for about 2 years and was working on this program year after year. And I'm working in the lab. I'm a lab chemist at the time. Had some spare time on my hand, and started playing around with Microsoft Excel. And I found out that Excel had this thing going on called macros, where you can actually basically write a program that just kind of like did the key commands. So waiting on the report to be made, I said, you know what? I think I can do this report myself. So I sat down with the macros, played around with it, and in 2 weeks, I had a program set up that would create a technical report for us. And when I showed it to my bosses, they were like, what is this? We've had a guy coming in here for 2 years to do this, and he hadn't been able to do it. And you did it in 2 weeks using simple software. And I say that because as Black creators, it's very important for us to be able to use technology to our advantage to get where we need to be. We don't have the investments that other people normally have. We don't have the support that we normally have. Anybody that's been a Black business person, entrepreneur for 5 minutes understands that. So important. So technology is very important for us. And as we start stand on us, I'm not going to say stand on the cusp because it's actually already happening now. As we look at this, um, the use of AI, I think it's something that we have to seriously take a look at in order to help us to continue to grow. Some of the things that I worked with over the years, really technology is the reason that I'm a publisher. Years ago, I would not have been able to do the things that I've been able to do as a single person doing, self-publishing, being able to create manuscripts, being able to get people to design cover and the cover art, different thing like that. All of that has been based on the use of technology. Even the fact that we were able to build an audience the way we have is directly related to technology. When I first came into this industry, 16, well, it'll be 20 years ago next year. One of the main reasons that we were able to build what we were able to build was because of social networks. Up to that point, most people who were into our genres, especially Black people that were into science fiction and fantasy, a lot of them felt like when we say unicorns. They felt like that was a single person that they knew that was into that. But then came social media, this came forums and things like that, and people started to find each other and connect each other and connect with each other and realize that they weren't alone. And that actually was the basis of my audience. As I came in, I realized that what I was doing was probably going to be more acceptable to a Black audience. And so social media essentially created that audience for me to be able to get out and sell my books, and for other Black writers as well. Um, it was very important for us to be able to do that. And where we found situations where there wasn't an outlet, we created those outlets. One of the outlets that we built up was the State of Black Science Fiction. We started that group back in 2012, and the purpose of it was to give us a platform to talk about Black science fiction, fantasy, steampunk, sword and soul. And this is a group that right now on Facebook has over 20,000 members, and it's one of the main, I say, thoroughfares for Black creativity and connection in that standpoint. So again, that's how the technology helped us to get where we needed to go. Self-publishing has been very important to what we do, mainly because when we deal with mainstream publishers, we're dealing with gatekeepers. And when it comes to Black publishers and Black writers, the gatekeepers have been very active, keeping our books away from our audience for various reasons, or and some of them, a lot of them were not legitimate. It was just a matter of fact of them thinking that Black people, that not only Black people, but audiences in general would not accept what we do. But by using that technology, when I say technology, I'm talking about, for instance, I'm using software to format my manuscripts, which keeps my costs down from that standpoint. I'm working with people that are using software to create cover designs for me. I work with people like Tim that are creating artwork for me, and then that is being formatted. And also, we talk again about social media, allowing me to access audiences that technically I wouldn't be able to access. One of the people that I use to do print on demand for me is one of the largest distributors in the world. And it's because of that person, that company, that when I create my books, they're accessible to people in the United Kingdom, Australia, Germany, wherever. So now that people have access to my work, again, that's technology. That's a technology thing. Um, as we move forward into this, being able to diversify, that's a big thing for me as a creator, and I think for all creators, is to take your work and diversify it. And again, that's something that in the past was difficult to do. If I have a story and I want to make that story into an animated series, technically I would have had to go through certain people to do that. If I had a story and I wanted to make it into a comic book, I had to go through certain paths to do that. But now, because of technology, that's something that doesn't restrict us. A perfect example would be one of the books that I wrote called "Playing the Odds." It's a cyberpunk novella, and I was able to gather a team of creators together. We went to, again, using crowdfunding, which is something that's new to us, recent for us, for raising money. That cuts out us having to deal with investors. We can go straight to the people who would be interested in what we have to raise the money for it. And then we used a platform called Unreal Engine, which is basically a free platform out there to be able to create this animated series, create this animation, which we were able to complete, and now we have online. Again, that's another example of being able to use technology to do something that otherwise would have had us having to create a pitch Bible, go to a particular company, try to convince them that what we have is going to be relevant to their audience, having to deal with the changes and stuff that they would put us through because to make our stuff quote unquote acceptable and all that kind of stuff like that. But being able to do it this way, we're able to build our product and take it to the most important people that matter, which are the people that want to watch what we make and the people that want to read what we make. So that's one way that the technology has helped us there. When it comes to doing comic books, which I have a number of them out right now, and I'm working on more with some other creators. I found myself in the same situation. I am not an artist. I know that for a fact because I tried to be one and I failed miserably. but but instead of me doing it myself, I contacted a brother I know by name of Jason Reeves, that owns a comic book company called 133 Art in Los Angeles. And I take my story to him. He finds a person to translate that story into a comic book script, which was a gentleman by the name of Robert Jeffrey. And we basically build that comic book. And we use, again, the technology of social media to raise funds for that and get it out and get it distributed. So what we're doing is basically taking our content and creating it in different ways to where it all feeds on itself. People read the comic books, they like it, they want to get the novel. People read the novel, they want to see the comic book. People read the novel, they want to see the animation. So tying it all together. So this kind of takes us up to where we are now with the AI technology, generative AI. I remember when it first came out, which was not that long ago, and everybody was excited about it, what it could create, until people started seeing the other side of it, and what was considered the other side of it, where we were looking at the potential of people, basically some people seeing losing their livelihood from this technology that was doing some of the things that they were being hired to do, or in some cases, artists feeling like they were being ripped off because of what they call it, I think they call it scraping, where the AI engine is basically creating art based on art from that other people have created. And it caused a real uproar. And we're seeing it more now every day. Basically, everything that you do online right now, every social media that you're involved with has already incorporated AI. It's already there. It's I guess you can say it's kind of inevitable, but the question is now is how do we do it ethically, and how do we do it in a way that's going to benefit us without taking away from us? For me as a creator in the publishing realm, I think when it first came out, it was hitting artists more directly. And then the artists would look at us writers and say, "You just wait, it's coming for you too," you know. And we do have stuff like Chat GBT, and different things like that, where people are using to create prose. One of the things that was interesting to me, I wrote a story a few years ago called Carnival, and this particular story was set in the future. And I made a statement in there in the first part of the story where my character was in his vehicle listening to the latest record by Prince Incorporated. And what I had imagined at that time was that something that we're dealing with now with AI is that a corporation had taken all of Prince's music and fed it into a computer, and now we're able to create new songs by him based on what he had done previously, and his voice and everything else. And we're seeing this right now. One of the guys that I work with in animation actually wrote a song and basically had AI not only create the song but the voice to sing the song, and did a short video on it. So again, that's another way where we're looking at this technology. But again, as Black creators, and dealing with all the disadvantages that we have to deal with when we're dealing with investors and different things like that, I kind of think it's our obligation to take a look at new technology and take a look at how it's going to help us, and at the same time be mindful of the fact that we don't want to I say make it difficult for people to be gainfully employed. The way that I use it is that there are certain steps in the technical process that it helps us get through without having to spend a lot of money doing it. From one of the examples is that we have a gentleman from Nigeria that creates all of our 3D models for our animation. Only about, say, a little over a year ago, whenever he would create something, what we call as a 3D model, whenever he would create these models, it'd have to go through a process what we call rendering, which is basically fine tuning it and making it usable in animation. Something like that would take him hours, even days, depending on how detailed the model was. Just recently, he and I were working on a project, and it would only take him like 45 minutes. So something like that really cuts down the amount of time it takes us to develop characters to use for animation, which in turn cuts down the amount of time it's going to take us to create an animated series. So that's a big advantage for us. Now, I think everybody in the end has to kind of select their own path on how they're going to go forward. What I've done basically is that I've decided that I will always use art that is created by artists. I'm not going to be using stuff that's going to be created by somebody using prompts. That's to me, that's not that's my path forward. Now, at the same time, I am not going to get into the details of the artists and what tools that they use to create their art, because I know that using art of AI can help the artists do their work better. Just like artists went from painting on canvas to digital drawing and digital painting. There's some there are big advantages for them, and it helped improve their efficiency. I know artists who are very good artists that are using AI to create their we call their references before they do their final artwork. And that's a part of the process. In the past, I would have to send an artist images and to give them an idea of what I wanted them to illustrate, and then they would come back with sketches of that. But now I can send them images, and they can come back with sketches that have been generated by AI, which will speed up that process, and then I can select from what I want from that image, and then they can go back and do the final artwork and the final piece. But it speeds up the time, speeds up the process, and it helps us, and for them, it helps them to create more content, which means they can take on more work and turn out more work and be more profitable themselves. So to me, that's the ground that we have to work with now. But in every aspect that I'm working with, I see the improvements and how it's helping us to work better, how it's helping us to function better, how it's helping us to create our content faster, so we can get it out to the audience and be profitable. We're not trying to be I guess you can say a bloodthirsty capitalist. But what we are trying to do is be able to run a business in a way where we can be profitable and that we can reinvest in our communities. Again, like I said, the thing I like about it is that because we have social media, I'm able to work with artists around the world. I've worked with writers from Zambia, writers from Malawi, artists from Nigeria. I'm working with writers from Brazil, people from the UK, and all this allows us to do that and allows us to support and work with African diaspora communities around the world. So that's my ramble, and it's kind of a segue for Tim, because Tim does do a lot more detailed work in AI, and he's actually going to show you hands-on how this works for him and how it helps him. I guess before I hand off to him, does anybody have any questions?
Been doing this for maybe 40 years, all that you've packed in. How long did this take you from coming out of research and this molecule and that molecule equals that molecule over there to the more esoteric writer pulling all this collaboration together?
Well, that's a good question. To me, being a research chemist and being an author are kind of like on the same wavelength. They all take a certain amount of creativity. As a research chemist, I have to be aware of and very familiar with my components. I have to know about molecules and have to know about compounds and how they react with each other. And so when I have to make a product, I have to take all that into consideration when I put those products together to come up with an outcome. And it's a lot of trial and error. Chemistry is not linear like math is. So you do a reaction, you can get like 5 or 6 different results, that kind of thing. So it's a matter of using a little ingenuity and knowledge. And to me, writing is the same thing. You have to know the tools. You have to have the components of being a writer. You know how to create characters, and you know how to use grammar and stuff like that. And then you have your ideal, and you take all that and put it together to come up with a result, which is your story or your novel. So to me, they're very similar, and they kind of like complement each other, because they're all at the same time that you have certain laws and rules you have to go by, like in chemistry. The outcome is determined by your imagination and how you approach that.
So Milton, I just wanted to say that I got a little age on you, but you did chemistry. I grew up programming computers in the 60s. And
Okay.
And so when people talk about now this AI, I'm going, inherent in computer science is AI, and the things that I some of the things that I program myself, I see, okay, I looked into the future and said, this isn't going to be good. This is going to, this is, so the kind of things that we're seeing where the scraping, I'm kind of going, you scrape, the great authors and stuff like this, and you come up with, write me something that's a Hemingway novel, and it's just because of the whole body of information that's been gathered. And it just makes me think about, and when I ask my students and my college students, are we smarter than we were, 10,000 years ago? And I'm kind of going, we have more information, but we're not any smarter. So this AI thing to me is disconcerting from the perspective of how much knowledge a supercomputer and now quantum computing can do in, billions of a second compared to us contemplating, proper character development, stuff like this. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting, the point you made about AI, and I just find it fascinating. Again, coming from having a degree in computer science technology back in the day. So that's all I wanted to say.
I think the thing when it comes to creativity is that, AI is going to it's going to create things based on what's already there. And the advantage that we have as human beings is that we can look beyond that and create, new things because of the way our computers work. And I think that's the advantage that we'll always have. And I'm just going to give you guys a warning. My battery on my laptop's about to die, so I might blink out in a minute. But that being said, I think you're right. It's going to be an interesting path forward. But I think it's one that we are on. And so we have to be mindful of how we take that journey and how we, move forward. And to me, as long as we put the personal component, the human component, and keep it first and foremost, I think that will help us make the right decisions. So before I leave abruptly, I'm going to hand things over to Tim and let him get started and talk to you guys a little bit more about the hands-on using this technology to benefit.
Okay. Thank you, Milton. You guys can hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay, you want to hold on?
Milton, to let us know where they can find you.
Right.
Beyond here, yeah. Where can people find you, Milton?
You can find me at my website, mvmediaatl.com. I also have a personal author site at miltonjdavis.com, and my books are available anywhere books are sold.
Great. Thank you so much, Milton Davis from Atlanta. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Milton. For the record, my company, the name of my company is called Diesel Funk Studios. The term Diesel Funk was founded by Milton Davis and Balagoon Ojitade. I hope I pronounced his last name correctly. I wanted to get that on the record. It's a dope name. Hey, you got to do what you got to do. Anyway, my name is Tim Fielder. I am the comedic relief of this event. A few housekeeping rules. Take nothing I say seriously. Let's have some fun. I think I got you guys for the next, hour and a half, something like that. All right. By a show of hands, how many people here have been waiting to see how Afrofuturist art is virtually created in real time? Would you like to see that by a show of hands? Okay, we got some folks up there. That's good. That's good. All right, so I'm gonna show that to you. We got Tasha. Thank you. I saw that yellow hand. I don't know if that was a yes or if that was a question. I don't know. All right, so here we go. I started many years ago. Can I share my screen? I think sharing is enabled. Yes, it is. Okay, so we're gonna go to desktop here. Sorry for all the clutter. A lot of clutter here. A lot of clutter.
50 tabs open.
Well, it's because I'm showing y'all want to see everything, right? I'm gonna show you everything. This is why you asked me. I assume, Cherie, this is why you want me to bring the full Monty, right? Because everyone wants to know what is going on, why is it happening. So, to begin, before I jump into the traditional to AI bridge, which the title I use, traditional art to AI, right? There's a bridge that exists between the two. Now, Charles spoke about being a programmer that started in the 60s. And how it resonated with me, how you basically stated that, there are things that can not have a very positive outcome, which is a reality that Black people live with all over the world. We are used to living in dystopia and making our own variation of paradise within that. That is what we do. It's not fun. It's not always sexy. It is certainly not always, well, I should say it can be lethal at times, but that's our job. That's what we do. And as a result of that, we bring, because of our culture, that is why we are in the forefront of world culture. Everyone looks to us, and that is because we are masters, Black women, Black men, of creating something from nothing, even though nothing is not actually true, because something can be in one form of matter and transform to another form of matter, but doesn't mean it ceases to exist. We have the ability to shape everything. Now, my name is Tim Fielder. This is my image here. Can you guys, yeah, you guys can see my screen. Okay, that's good. I won't go all the way up here. But this is me jumping through my show, Black Metropolis, which happened, I guess, about 10 years ago, and it's a culmination of all my work. Now, at the time of this particular program, I am now 58 years old. I started as a visual Afrofuturist when I was either 12, 13, or 14. So I've been doing this for a very long time. As you can tell from my accent, I am from Mississippi. I'm from down south, although I've been based in New York since the 80s. I started out as a traditional artist. You can see here in this image all of the artwork there that you see in that particular shot, which, by the way, was the last time I made that kind of jump, was all done in analog, meaning it was done in forms of gouache, watercolor, markers. So that's what I did. That's how I worked for many, many years. I started as a professional in 1987 upon arriving in New York City for college. And I did editorial illustration. These are the things that I've done. In that time, as I say, taking the lead from Milton and Balagoon, I founded Diesel Funk Studios now 10 years ago. It's been 10-year anniversary this year. And we founded that to do all the different things that I've done over the years. So let me just pop this here. So I'll just very quickly just go through this here. So I started as an editorial cartoonist for publications like the Village Voice, other different East Village magazines that I did work for, some adult, some news-oriented, a lot of hip-hop illustration early in my career, which I'll lead to as I talk about my books for a second. I've done concept and production design for movies. I've done, because I started out drawing when I was 4 or 5, before I became a visual Afrofuturist, my love was always comics. You know, that was what I did. That's what my siblings did, and I'm the one that stuck with it. So I've been in the game for a very, very long time. I've worked for Marvel Comics. I have an unpublished 63-page fully painted graphic novel called Dr. Dre, Man with a Cold, Cold Heart. Yes, that Dr. Dre. One day it'll get published. And I'm primarily known now for 3 publications. I'm one of those been around for a long time, late starters. In 2021, this book here, Infinitum, an Afrofuturist tale. I don't know if y'all can see it in the corner there. This book came out. Well, actually, Maddie's Rocket came out first. This book in floppy form. But hey, hold on one second. Hold on. This was the first book I ever did. It's called Death Comes in Force. It came out in 1994, 30 years ago. And what's cool about it, well, I've never been blown away by the inside because it was black and white art, which is cool. But I was heavily influenced by manga, and this image here. That's how I did that particular book there. This is a futuristic depiction of Ochosi, the Yoruba god, and I wanted to do something that was cool, showing him be able to use his dreadlocks with special powers. So that's part of what I did. Other than that, I'm known for a book called Maddie's Rocket. which is a retro Afrofuturist book that I did specifically. The audience was for my parents because my mom and dad were born in the 30s. Dad was in 34, mom was in 38, and they did not see themselves in science fiction. So I wanted to do a story that specifically talked to them in a kind of Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon environment, but within the Black communities, featuring a woman whose name is Maddie Walking Stick Waddy, who was named after my great grandmother, whose name was Maddie Waddy. The book I'm known for now is this guy here called The Graphic History of Hip Hop, which came out with my good buddy and partner, Walter Grayson, who is the writer. That book's been out since a little bit earlier this year. We've been all over the place doing what we call a perpetual road tour. But I'm now going to add involuntary perpetual road tour. And we've been doing our thing, and technology, all of the things that Milton has mentioned have begun to play a part. Oh, just as a side note here, this will be out next month. I did the Spider-Man 2099 story. This is an anthology, Marvel Super Stories. What's bizarre is that I've been in the comic book industry since 1987, but was never allowed to do a superhero till now. So it's an interesting time to be where I am now. Let's see if we can keep going. So I always start with this part. What is Afrofuturism? Now, Afrofuturism, I've had to learn to accept means many different things. Afrofuturism for me, I always say this to get a laugh, Black people in spaceships. You want to put Black people in spaceships. That's my job. Now, there are other people who can work much more ergonomically, much more spiritually, and that's good. But my position is to make Black people, draw Black people in speculative scenarios with high technical environments, science fiction. It can be adult, it can be something that's kind of juvenile, but whatever it is, I want people that look like us to be in those environments. So that's part of what I do. This is Infinitum, the project that I showed you here. This is one of my early illustrations. As you can see here, that was done in 1988. This image was updated for the graphic history of hip hop that came out a little bit earlier this year. This is, whoa, my God, this is old here. This is also from 1988. This was for the Black Rock Coalition. I used to do a lot of their early illustrations for their shows. This is Black Metropolis. Interestingly enough, that image that you're seeing there is one of the first digital illustrations I ever did that was not done in, regular watercolor. That was done in, what was it? Corel Painter at the time, they called it fractal design. So I began to move into digital illustration in the late 90s. By 2000, I became a full-on digital artist. Now, this is the thing that I'm somewhat known for, called Black Metropolis. This is Yemaya giving birth to the world, and Obatala is helping her through childbirth. And these are the images that I did. Now, these images were done in a combination of watercolor, marker, and you see the highlights on the plane to make it look like sun. That's called whiteout. For those old heads, the audience, when you work with a typewriter, you get that shine on there by using that. So this is Infinitum. So the idea, just to get this, and I'll start moving to the other particular aspects of things in a moment here. So this image here is from Infinitum. These are all from Infinitum, right? The objective is, in this image, I don't want there to be a dramatic difference in the quality of my analog art from my digital art. I do not want you to be able to detect an overt change in quality. As a visual Afrofuturist, part of my job and my responsibility is to embrace and to attack technology. This is why in the late 90s, very early 2000s, I began to work in the gaming industry. I worked for Ubisoft Entertainment, and that is where I began to employ 3D modeling. So what Milton mentioned earlier with 3D modeling, I use 3ds Max. And I did that for several years. I still use it to this day, but not as much because of AI. And for about, I would say from 2000, probably all the way till to about 2000, 2001, I would use 3D, but towards the latter part of that period, I began to employ game engines. So as Milton said, I use Unreal Engine. I don't use it as much anymore, and I'll show you guys why in a bit. This is from Maddie's Rocket. I am a sequential artist, otherwise known as a comic book artist. I tell stories in sequence. I'm also a trained storyboard designer, so a lot of my stuff tends to take on this kind of cinematic effect. Also, quick side note, I was very happy to have appeared in the Smithsonian Afrofuturism exhibit, Afrofuturism, A History of Black Futures. I was so proud of the fact that Maddie's Rocket was showcased, at least in 2 different locations in that show, as well as one of my quotes. It was a huge deal for my parents to know that had happened. So my dad's grandmother was in the show. So that was a very huge deal for me. All right. So I'm influenced by a lot of concept designers and artists. Aaron Douglas from the Harlem Renaissance, Sid Mead, people like that. And these are the things I did. So I would create imagery. And as I began to draw in the computer using things like this, a stylus, I began to incorporate elements of photo manipulation. I would like, for example, that cotton there comes from, I'm from Mississippi. So I literally took a photo of cotton and I used that as part of the illustration. Now, why did I do that? I did that because it was important to me that while doing the illustration that I embedded within it the ability to be able to embed literal history into the image. So the illustration, or the idea of doing an illustration from straight drawing, is not always the objective. Sometimes it is. Sometimes I like to incorporate different things. I find that that's a very helpful thing to be able to do. Okay. Maddie's Rocket, I showed you guys that before earlier. We'll just move to this very quickly. Now, how do I draw? I'll go to this part here and I'll demonstrate a little bit of this in real time, but I just want to get through this part here quickly. So I'll start with a basic illustration. And you can see that's very sketchy. And that illustration will then go here to something that's a little bit tighter. You guys can see this. Can everyone see this? From there, from that drawing, I then turn that into a tight line drawing, right? From there, I go to tones, right? From moving to those tones, I then move to hues, basically color. Now, to get to this point, I then go where I begin to add photographic phenomena to my illustrations. Let's go back here. See how that goes from there to there? Basically, I'm taking my drawing, my illustration work, and I'm embedding within that illustration work photographic phenomena. In this particular case here, edge lights, side rim lights, bounce light. Then we add in the background, we add bloom, all those kind of effects. So, but remember, this started like that. Now, here's the other thing you should know. That particular process in watercolor would take, oh my God, an entire day to do. Possibly 2 days. When I began to move to digital, I would say this particular illustration here will probably take 3 to 5 hours, right? To be able to get all the tones and everything correct. And I worked that way for many, many years. And it was okay. I could get it done, but work was slow because one of the ways I tend to work, I tend to do everything as painted, meaning fully rendered imagery. So this started out like that. You see? So I'll take that image and I'll work it up to a fully rendered image. By the way, all these were done before the arrival of the generative AI technology that we use now. So we keep going here. So I'm showing you this image here. This is basically how I work when I'm drawing. I'll do illustration. I'll add in tones, colors. I'll add in highlight. So although I'm using the digital technology, the objective is to produce something that looks virtually the same as an analog illustration with no discernible drop in quality. Does everyone understand? Okay, I think you guys follow me here. There's my brother Common. So I think it's important that you guys see this stuff so you understand that although I use digital technology, everything that I do must begin with an illustration. It is all drawing. So the human element that so many people are absolutely and understandably frightened of with the advent of AI, I have no problem with that because effectively, I'm always going to draw. There will be nothing, no technology will come along that will keep me from drawing. All right, let's keep going here. Make sure we got that right. All right. Now, let's see, let's check the time here. Okay, it's 10:47, so that's good. So we got about an hour. Any questions based upon what I've shown you thus far? Because we're about to get into it now. Okay, good. Now, I'm going to get out of this here for the moment. Let me move the keyboard back here just a moment. And I'll just very quickly show you one of the things also, I think this is important for you guys to see here. These are all illustrations and photos of drawings that I've done over the years. I'm actually working, Black Metropolis is actually an art book of my visual Afrofuturist work over the last 35, 40 years. I've recorded everything with a high resolution camera. I think this work here was done back in the 90s. Is that right? Yeah, oh my God, yes, that was the 90s. So I've been doing this for a while now, and I'm trying to finish up this book very shortly. Oh, that's from Dread Dog. Oh my God. So that was done in 91. So it's a long time I've been doing this work. And one of the reasons why I wanted to show you guys this, to not only illustrate, oh my God, that's an illustration that I had done of Vernon Reed back in the 80s. So I've been doing this for a long time, and the objective is to show you guys that I am actively working, although I'm very fortunate. And again, Cherie and Maurice, thank you guys for allowing me to present here. You did not have to do this. I know you didn't, and I thank you for that. And I love you both for that. But I am showing you guys this stuff because I wanted to start putting out that the Black Metropolis project, which is both my memoirs and an art book, I'm actually physically putting it together now. So I hope to be done in a few months, and we're going to start trying to go to press with that. Initially, I thought, well, maybe that wasn't so important. But then as I began to do it, I began to realize that there are a lot of people who feel like my work is part of visual Afrofuturist history as it relates to comics. And that I had a responsibility to, in effect, show it to the world and to put it out there. Okay, enough of that. So y'all know who I am. Y'all know what I do. Now let's start getting to this big elephant in the room. All right, so I use Photoshop. I use Illustrator. Oh, what is it? Oh, yeah, I'm actually doing I got to get this image here done for the Kamala Harris campaign. I'm hoping to get this done today. But what we're going to do here, we're going to go here. Now, the Cherie, you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, you hear me. All right. So Cherie, I'm going to start demonstrating my process. But one of the things I want you to do, because Cherie, you're going to help me today. You're going to help me. Yes, you are. Yes. So Cherie, whether you got a pen or a pencil, I want you to draw something. Draw one of them damn warrior women you always talking about. I want you to do the best you can. Quality is not important. finishing is important. Got it? Do you understand?
Okay.
Okay, do the best you can. Now, you might ask, why is he forcing Cherie to do that? Is he into torture? No. What I'm going to demonstrate to you guys, and I don't know if Milton's still online here. I'm going to demonstrate to you that we have now entered into a world where anyone can create a compelling image that is their drawing that can basically create a beautiful piece of work. Now, as we're in a room filled with Afrofuturists or those who are interested in Afrofuturism, I want to show you how this technology, if used ethically, can liberate you, right? So here we go. So right now, as you can see, this is Clip Studio Paint. I use Photoshop. Right now, I'm using Clip Studio Paint. I think what we want to do here, yeah, I want to create some kind of vertical like that, right? All right. Now, excuse me, miss, who I ran into at Asala. What's your name? Yes, what's your name? I'm sorry, I can't hear you because it's.
Paulette Fair. I had the mic all over someplace else.
I said, repeat one more time.
Paulette Fair.
Paulette, hey, Paulette, how you doing? Okay, good. Paulette, I want you to describe to me something you would love to see in a movie. Come on, hit me.
Well, I originally my mind goes back to Wakanda. It was so wonderful and so beautiful. So I top of mind, the woman who stopped the rhinoceros. Who just
Oh, you
stared
want to
the
see one of the
down.
Dora Milaje?
Yeah, she stared that thing down and it stopped and said, yes, ma'am. So more of those women.
Okay, all right. So here's the deal. So we're gonna say, watch what I'm doing here, guys. I'm gonna write it down in red here or orange. We're gonna go Dora Milaje. Okay, we got that. All right, Charles, as our resident programmer, what would you like to see jumping on top of the Dora Milaje idea? Come on, give me something. You're a programmer. You know how to do this.
Yeah. I'm thinking. Jumping on physically?
No, whatever you want. What do you see? What does this image give you? Come.
Okay. I see oh God. I see the actual movement on top of the rhinoceros, having swung around the horn and being on top, like riding it like a.
Here's the thing. We want something original, but what we're gonna do is riding an animal, right?
Okay.
Meaning we're gonna create something, but we're gonna say riding in. All right. Our Sola Williams, how you doing? I hope I got your name correct there. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm fine,
Okay,
thank you.
Okay, so what do you got? We got Dora Milaje, riding an animal. What's next? Come on. What does your mind come up? I'm gonna take one more after this.
I don't have much idea. Riding an animal. If I have to ride an animal, I ride horse. Horse.
A horse?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna say a horse.
Yes.
You did it. Okay,
Thank
we're
you.
gonna go. Okay, this is good. This is good. Now I'm gonna go back to the young lady wearing the kind of brown and white sweater behind Cherie with the locks and the ponytail.
Damn, Clarissa.
Oh, hey girl, how you doing?
How you doing?
All right, come on, give me one. I couldn't even tell because the image is so small. What you got for me?
Oh, I was trying to put it into a different world. I wanted it
Then
to
put it
be
in a different world. So different world.
I wanted a different planet, and then I wanted it to be a multi-layered space station.
All right, planet, station, right? And okay, so this right here will work here. So these are our keywords, correct? We want something that will be influenced by this, this, and that. I'm gonna hit Command T. I'm gonna reduce that down a little bit and move that over. These particular things here are called keywords, right? So we got that. Now we're gonna go to our sketches. So I'm gonna say, because we want something that's more science fiction, I'm gonna draw, but we want to keep that ball thing happening, right? We're gonna keep that ball-headed thing happening because that's beautiful, right? We're gonna have a woman here. Okay, that's good. Put this here. I like the idea of earrings. Let's zoom in on this. Can you guys see my drawings? Okay, we're gonna say now, how about the idea of visors? Yeah, and these visors pop here and they kind of move like a circuitry on her head, like that. We'll put her eyes here. I'll put her nose. She's got to have broad lips because that's the way it's supposed to be, right? We're going to go here and we're saying, Clarissa, we're doing a kind of a space thing. We want her in a spacesuit. Yes or no? Thumb up or thumb down?
Yes.
Thumbs up. Okay, so we're going to do this here. We're going to put her in a spacesuit. Oh, I kind of like that part there. Let's make her head slope back just a little bit. So you guys see how it's all starting sketchy, right? Cherie, how we doing with our drawing? I hadn't forgot about you. What we doing there?
I texted you the photograph.
Ah, excellent. Yes. Now, guess what, Cherie? Everybody is going to see this. Everybody. See, this is perfect. I love it. So now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to text this to myself. I'm going to download it here. That's downloaded. We're going to go right here. We're going to select this image here. And now I need to send this to my computer. Aha! We're sending. We just received a photo. Perfect. Now let's go down. So you all see how I'm using technology to move images around. It can be a little scary at times, but you know, no one cares how we feel. So we got to do it anyway. Now let's see here. Let's try to find this image here. I'm so sorry. Where is the image? You know, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go to a list there. Yeah. We're going to go to date added. That's 2025. So we know that's not correct. We can go all the way down here. Let's see, other, we got something. Let's go date added. Okay, and today is October, what, 20, what's the date?
25.
25th. Oh, and by the way, one of the reasons why you might say he's getting a little hung up here is because I am 58 and I can't see as well anymore. So I'm trying my best to find, let's see, music, movies, developer, other. We're going to go to images, PDF. Here we go. I think we're close now. Aha. Here we go. Come on. July, August, September, October, today. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much for this, Cherie. So we're going to go here. And now I'm going to open that up. There we go. So this is Cherie's image. Love that. Ah, I like the earring. That's dope. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to hold this to the side. But what I am going to do, go back to this image here. All right, let's take a look at Cherie's image. That looks pretty good. I like that. Let me drop my point size down here, just like that. One more time, take a quick look. There we go. Boom. So I want to create, we're creating, and Clarissa and Cherie, I'm going to leave it to you guys to come up with a dope name for her. All right. Now, so we got that there. Even though you have the wires around the neck, which is a motif that I use very often, I'm going to use it here, but we're going to make those bracelets around her neck as actually part of her pressure suit. She's wearing a spacesuit. There we go. Okay, I like that. But you know what? Maybe what we're going to do is we're going to make something on the back of her head, and it's going to slope down like that. Yeah, that's hot. We'll do it like that. Let me erase a little bit here. Am I doing good on time, Cherie?
Yes, you're doing great.
Okay, good. All right, there we go. So we're going to have the ears out. We're going to have this part here. Yeah, I like that. And we're going to make part of this device here part of her. Bubbles. I'm sorry, what'd you say? What'd you say? Okay, maybe someone was talking there, didn't know. All right, so we got that there. That's good. I'm gonna hang it. Well, actually, I'm gonna take it right back there. Yeah, we'll do it like that. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that. All right, now, so we've got her head, now body. One of the things I think might be cool, I think the young lady behind, let's say right next to Clarissa, what's your name with the mask?
My name's Sherry.
Hey, Sherry, how you doing? What kind of pressure suit are we imagining here? Because, you know, this is one of the things that I tend to teach cartoon, even though we're dealing with Afrofuturism here, want something with a base in Afrofuturism. But when you start dealing with female characters, what happens with dudes like me, because we're men, we can be limited sometimes, right? And when you start dealing with really Cro-Magnon dudes out there, they can get very regressive and get overly dependent upon overly sexualizing female characters. And that's not good. So what can we show with this character in the way she is depicted visually in terms of body type that will show her both as strong, assertive, smart, stylish. We want style, got to have style because we're doing a comic here, right? Or a comic type illustration. But we also want her to be beautiful. So what do you imagine? Come on, show me what you got. What you got? Because we're on a timeline here. Let's go.
Well, since I'm a tall woman, I think of a image of an Amazon woman.
Oh, okay. She's got to be tall. Okay. Skin tight, or do you want something bulky on her? What you want?
A little more, yeah, a little more bulky.
A little bit. Okay. Okay. Cool. I like that idea. All right. All right. What else you got?
She's physically fit.
Physically fit. Okay. Good.
And the only thing I was thinking in terms of futuristic, what came to me is she has wings of some type because she's able to move around that way.
Oh, so okay. So how? This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make her wings actually shoulder devices. Ah, very good. Yeah. Yeah. Watch this. So we're gonna make it wings, right? See how it is?
Really big wings.
Okay, but watch this. Watch what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna do this. We have her bust area here. Should she have plated? Now, you might ask, why is he asking about plated cover, for her chest area? Because in video games, they always have these female characters that have exposed midriffs. And it's like, yo, you're not fighting a war that makes sense. You're in armor, you're armored up,
Yes.
right?
Armor.
So
Yeah, I
what
agree.
do we want? Huh?
I agree on the armor.
Okay, so we're gonna say something armored like that. We'll pop this here. I used to play football, so I'm gonna give her the rib cage pads underneath. That'll be good. We'll have a little control here. Now watch this. Watch what I'm gonna do. Watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be a little weird, so stick with me here, guys. Stick with me. Let's move this to the side. Aha! So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go right there. I'm gonna select this. I'm gonna hit Command C, Command V. I'm gonna turn that off. Well, actually, we won't turn that off. And go right here, Command T. Right there. All right, cool. Now, Clarissa, we can give her, if we want, mechanical wings, or we can give her some kind of other energy source. What we got?
Other energy source.
Another energy source.
Yeah, I kind of want wings that like is extended up and out, um, and over her. It kind of has the elements of a butterfly. You know how the designs is.
Yes, yes, yes. So this will be an energy force, like so, and that can extend even out like that. And this will be a web, an energy web. That cool?
Yes.
Cool. So energy web. Now you notice this is very sketchy. Very sketchy. I'm not really worried about this other thing now. I'm gonna do this one other thing here. Let's merge these two. Are we doing okay? Am I moving too fast?
No.
Am I moving too slow?
No.
Okay. Is this what you guys wanted to see?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Paulette, I remember what you said. I didn't see any Afrofuturism. So that's what I'm
Oh
doing.
no,
All
no,
right.
I love that the wings, the mechanical wings. I mean, she might have been born in our human form, but we've been able to get to the future and use technology for the good. And so she can move from here to there in a heartbeat with those wings and an energy field too. Hey,
Okay, so we're gonna say she's born human, because what you're doing is writing out the story. Born human, right? She uses tech. Okay, this is good. All right, this is good. Now I'm gonna do her other wing here, which is right there. And we might be able to change that because on one thing here, we got a double wing, but I'm thinking, wouldn't it be interesting to do a omni wing? So basically, check this out. Let's say we have her here. She's got the form here, right? And even though I have her body here, one of the things I want to show, when you say her arm's a little bit bulkier, because as you said, she's like an Amazon. Is that correct? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Tim,
Yes.
before Cherie, can I just because the name came to me,
Go for
um
it.
Ashkara, and then I wanted to say
Spell that for me. Spell that for me, please.
ASKARA, something like that. I don't know if it's A.
Ascara.
Yes, or ASH.
Okay, I'm
A
horrible. Okay, watch this.
A
Watch this.
S. Try ASH
H.
A
Ascara.
K. Yes, and like some numbers on
Ashikara.
this. Yes, and
Okay.
it's like, and she's like a type, like so it's 18X.
Okay, here's what you're gonna do, because I want to make sure I get this drawing done. You're gonna work that out, and when I come back to it,
Yes,
you're gonna get okay. So we got this here, boom, there we are. This just here's kind of brolic. I love that. So we can go here. We got the rib cage pass underneath. We have this part here. We'll take it here. Yeah, there we go. So this is like kind of a sort of structure that goes over a skin tight or like a membrane, but that membrane has some bulk on it. Are we good with that, everybody? Good. All right, there we go. And we'll just put a little shoulders here because, I'm having shoulder issues. So you got to have some kind of padding for the shoulders, right? All right. Put this part here. All right. What about our bottom area here? Let's go to Melissa. Melissa, can you hear us? I don't know if Melissa's listening.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, so let's go down here to the bottom section here. So we got her top pretty much worked out,
Okay.
but what do we want for her bottom section? What do we have, man? We need something that's going to be form fitting,
Okay.
that'll protect her limbs, but allow for flexibility. What we got?
Um, I mean, I'm kind of thinking of like one of those types of skirts, like something you would see Serena or Venus wearing when they play tennis, like that type of sportswoman skirt
Oh, you talking about a
thing.
tutu? She got a tutu?
No, not like
Okay. She
like
don't have a tutu. Let me
like
take the
a
tutu.
workout,
You
like
better be
a
careful. Excuse me, I'm a visual Afrofuturist. If you start handing me words, it's gonna create a visual. So I'm sitting here about to put a pink tutu on her. So what we got? Come on now, be more specific.
Okay, like that's like a something like you would wear as a sports, like a tennis skirt, something like a woman who's an athlete, an Olympic athlete, what she would wear. Um,
An Olympic athlete, but it's a skirt.
yeah, I'm trying to think of an outfit I've seen let me
A
see.
spandex miniskirt.
Yeah,
Spandex
like
miniskirt.
something that like Serena Williams would wear when she's playing tennis. Like sometimes she wears those
All right.
Oh no, it's got
Here's
to
what
be
we're gonna.
shorter than that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's got to be
okay.
shorter.
yeah,
Hey. We got it right
something
here.
like
How
that.
about this? Right there. And I'm gonna make this part kind of correlate here. Right?
Mm.
Is that good?
Yes.
Like that. So it's like a stretchable membrane. And on this bottom part here, this is where we kind of emulate what's happening here. We're gonna put knee pads because you gotta have the knees. I have bad knees. Get a little bit older, y'all know what that's like, right? So you have those bad knees, you gotta cover up the knees, right? And then here we will go on the bottom. Now, here's the moment of truth. Cherie Renee Thomas, what kind of shoes does she have on? Kicks or space boots? What we got? Hit me.
Boots. Space boots.
Boots. Okay, what kind of boots?
The kind that's that good for whooping ass.
Okay, there you go. All right, we can go right here. Yes. So we'll do it here. We'll have some kind of steel toe boots that'll go up like that, right? And I'm drawing them from the front here. So is that good? Are we good here? Let me take that right there because I'm feeling like there has to be some kind of things that suggest musculature, right? But it's like padding, so it's like a kind of an interesting membrane. Okay, are we good there with her costume? All right, now here's the thing on there. I'm gonna go by show of hands. The typical thing to do. Let me do this here. What time we got? We're doing good. Because he's like, when are you gonna get to the AI part? What did I say? Everything starts with what? A drawing. Everything starts with a drawing. So let's do it here. So I'm gonna go here. Right there. I'm just making that smaller. All right. One thing I want to do here. Let me just do this very quickly. Let's go back to brush here. Now I'm going to do this. Now, the drawing here is very, very rudimentary. I'm not really going overboard with the detail. I'm just kind of just getting the ideas down, taking the ideas that you guys are giving me, and we're working from there. So we go here. All right. Her ears are here. We got the Ankh earring. Both ears or one ear? One. Okay, so we're going to put that one there. Okay. Now, by the way, for the record, this character is public domain. I am now formally relinquishing ownership of this character. So whoever wants to do it and do variations on it, go for it. All right, then we have kind of like a circuit board of her head there. That part comes on the side. And then we have the parts there with her neck, which go in just like that. Okay, that's kind of cool. Does she have a weapon?
Ambana says her eyes are her weapon.
So we'll make the visor here be that. We'll work that out. But she doesn't carry an object like y'all said, Dora Milaje, a sword or anything.
Sword in the chat, but I'll say it out loud too.
What's that?
A sword.
Oh, okay. Some people there's a y'all doing chat here. I didn't know that. Hold on, let me go back here. Cherie, I'm gonna leave it to you. Let me know what's going on in the chat because I'm sorry I missed that part there. Okay, So we're gonna do it
Chen
a
said your
slow.
pen is crazy. Chen
What?
said your Chen said that your pen is crazy.
Okay. I don't know what that means, but we gonna work it. All right, now.
That's a
So
lot of
check.
love.
Good. All right, so guys, here we go. I'm gonna do 3 different variants, and we're gonna do a show of hands. Now, here's the problem with the wing thing. We can do the wing thing, but frankly, we've already been beaten to the punch with that. On Star Trek, was it Discovery? The captain's mom, played by that sister from The Wire, she kind of already had that, right? And that was like this. It was like a butterfly, right? And it's a very cool idea, but it's kind of been done already. So here's but I'm putting it there just in case you want to steal the idea. Hey, nothing wrong with stealing an idea, right? Just make it dope, right? So we can do that, or we could do a mono thing like that, like circular, right? And it pops out. So she'll be yes.
Make it look like a scarab beetle. That's the logo for the Kemper
Oh,
Institute.
that's
Make it
my
like a scarab
sister.
beetle.
That's my sister. She just picked that one out of the air. Well done, young lady. Well done. Let's go try to get a scarab shape here. Scarab beetle. Scarab. Yep. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Ah, very nice. Very nice. Ah, yes. In fact, watch what I'm going to do here, guys. I'm going to go here. Let's see. Save this. Come on. Save image as, I'm going to call it Scarab. Vito. Ah, this is dope. This be dope, man. This be dope. So we're going to go here. Now watch what we're going to do. I'm going to go back here. Now I'm using here Adobe Bridge. What time we got? We're doing good on time. Desktop Scarabito. There it is. Aha. And go right here. So now that is open. So we're going to use this image here as our texture reference. Do we follow? So you see how that is going in? I like that. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to take the image. I want to take the idea. It's just like collecting reference. Back in the day, you'd have to go to the library to do this. Now we can go to this wonderful thing called the internet. All right, we're going to go back here. So I like that. Let's see here. Let's go here. Make sure we don't mess this up. Hold on. All right, there we go. Scarabito. Like it, that idea. That is dope. All right, watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to do Command C. What I just did here, you might ask, what did I mean Command C? I just copied this here, Command C, and I'm going to go back to my illustration here and hit Command V, right? Now watch what we're going to do here. There it is. Move that all the way over here. I'm going to move this below that. Hit Command T. Ah, that's interesting. That's very interesting. I'm going to hit Command U. What I'm doing here is I'm now moving the saturation, the color saturation. And I kind of like that. We'll make it kind of interesting. I know you guys might say, what in the world is he doing? But watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to just take the opacity on that down. I like that. Let's remove that. That's kind of hot. I love that. But let's move this down. Watch what I'm going to do here, guys. I'm going to move the top part here above her head. So that becomes like an interface. So that interface actually, in fact, floats over her head. So we'll go here. Watch what I do. Watch what I do. We'll go here. I'm just going to select this part. Command C, V. I'm going to turn this off. Using this idea of the beetle, what would happen is this. And tell me if I'm doing this right. I'm going to go here. So this part here would actually slope over like a hologram, like that. And then that part there, the buffer part, would actually go on, and it's all being emanated from these pieces here, right? And then these parts here would pop out like the beetle. Oh yeah, that's dope. I like that. And then on the top here, yeah, then maybe you could get that. We'll work that out. But I like that. That idea there is dope. Very dope. Ah, well done. This is fun. All right, now, so we have our ideas down, right? Now, I'm employing a lot of stuff that I've used over the years. Let's go here. We'll go back to Diesel Fun. And I'm using elements of this, like that. Maasai warrior with the beads. That's always a good go-to. So we'll do that. But I'm also taking into account the things you guys are doing. All right, now, I want to take 5 minutes to draw this out. Let me move here. Clarissa, what environment is she in?
Ooh, okay. Environment.
And she's flying, I assume, right?
Oh, you said flying because we're in the planet. Ooh.
Well, I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
Thank you. I was like this. I was putting on another planet, and it was a station, and
okay.
Could she be walking on the space station? But it was kind of like flying. But it's
That's what I'm saying. We can make her flying. We can make her flying. It's be better if it's flying, because that's what I've already started drawing here.
Okay.
You got your boot there. Okay. Now you'll notice here that's very sketchy, right?
Yes.
Because although I'm doing this work, it always has to start with what? A drawing. Now, let's go. As I'm doing this, I want you guys to understand there are certain rules that I have for using AI in my imagery. When most people realize that AI is utilizing what's called text prompts. Text prompts describe to the AI what you're trying to generate, the image you're trying to generate. Because we are operating in an environment now where images are scraped from the internet, as Charles alluded, that can be kind of bad, right? Not a good thing. So one of the things I always do is my rules are first rule, always start with an illustration. Everything should be an illustration. That is your beginning source. It should be your illustration, right? It should be your illustration every time. That's 1. 2, when you are describing the text prompt, you should never use the name of another artist. That's one of the reasons why these things happen, because people are like, okay, I want a drawing of this particular character in the style of Craig Mullins or the style of Greg Rutowski. No, you should always have it be your drawing. Now, by saying that, when I said that, how many people in the audience here by a show of hands said, yeah, but I can't draw? Right? Doesn't matter, because Cherie Renee Thomas just showed us that she can draw. And for decades, the rule of thumb has always been that Cherie doesn't draw. And she has now outed herself because now she can draw. I don't want to hear it anymore. Right? I can draw. No, yes, you can. Right? Okay. So we got her costume there. So that's kind of sketchy. Now we're going to go here and we're going to put her face. She's looking up because it's got to be dramatic, right? Dramatic like that. Notice how I'm keeping things sketchy because I'm still sketching this stuff out. Her ears are out. She has that ankh earring. She has that kind of interesting kind of headgear on right at the top. And then that pops right there with her visor. Right? And then she's got that kind of bracelet neck piece there. We're going to go right here. Okay, great. There we go. Aha. All right, fantastic. Now, I could do something with her leg to make it more interesting. Let's try this. I'm going to get rid of, well, actually, I won't even get rid of it. I'll do this. Let's see what happens. There we go. Yeah, I like that. Ah, yes. There we go. Pop that up there. Move this over here. Right. Yeah. There we go. All right. And what kind of sword, while I'm doing, anyone have, I was told that she carries a sword. What kind of sword are we talking here?
An Egyptian khopesh.
Okay. I need to know what that is.
Khopesh.
Hold on. K what?
Khopesh.
I'm sure I misspelled Egypt. Yeah, we forgot the P. Sorry about that. Egyptian khopesh. Okay. Gonna go to images. Ah, dope. All right, perfect. Then go right here and put this part here. And that khopesh. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. All right, let's erase this out. Oh, yes, I know exactly what's going to be happening here. Exactly what's going to be happening. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes when they start giving me that kind of information, then the story and what's happening begins to develop, right? The khopesh is here. This is basically what I used in Infinitum, actually, believe it or not, for the main character. 2 khopeshes. Can we give her 2 khopeshes?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, although I have this, I'm going to duplicate this image here, and I'm going to get rid of, well, I'm not going to get rid of anything. What I'm going to do here is do this. Watch what I'm about to do, guys. Okay. And I know it's a little sketchy because I'm trying to get the underdrawing right first. All right, there we go. All right, Cherie. She is in a sort of pit, and she's about to go to battle. What is she battling against? A herd, 1 creature, 2 creatures, 1,000 creatures? What we got?
Like she's in a kind of lunar space.
Whoa. Did you say you don't know? Did you say you don't know? Yes, you do know.
No, I said she's in a kind of a lunar kind of space.
So
Okay, this is the background I see. I see her on something not Earth, but is very Earth-like.
okay.
I see temples in the background and some
Okay.
giant cobra serpent type creatures, like a 3-headed serpent.
Okay. So I'm gonna reduce her down here. I'm gonna tilt her forward. I'm gonna take her head here. I'm gonna tilt it because she's looking up at this creature, right? Like that. Yeah. There we go. Oh man, this is kind of fun here. I like this character. This character is dope, guys. Well done. So obviously in the traditional way, the way I would have done this is I would have just erased and kept drawing. But now with digital, I can cut and paste, move my elements, my drawings around. Okay, I think we're good there. So now what time we got? Okay, we're good because I want to move quickly. You might say, oh my God, we don't have that much time left. Don't worry, we got 30 minutes. All right, now I'm going to draw the background. In the background, we want her in some sort of kind of, you'll see what I'm going to do here in just a second. I'm going to do this. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's reduce that down there. You say some kind of a city or a surface structure. What are we talking about?
There's some kind of like ancient alien temples in the background.
Ah, okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make those kind of like, what do you call them? Stalactites? Like that, yeah. But I'll make them tech in the structure here. So we'll go here. Watch this. We go here. See, I'm drawing my kind of perspective lines here. All right. So now I'm going to go here, make these right here go a little bit deeper into the background here. And then we'll take that. Ah, yeah, that'll be good there. Ah, yes. We'll take it here. We'll put it, the kind of surface she's on here like that. But because you say she's inside of a space station, right, Clarissa? Is that correct? So I'm going to make this more. Yes, all right. So I'm going to make this more alien-like, right? Like it's there, but it's like an alien space station where the tech is really kind of abstract, but it's in the shape of a tube. You'll see what I'm going to do here in just a moment. And then we have our light source in the back coming from there. Okay. Now you might say, what the hell is he drawing here? Work with me. So my construction lines are say my image is there. Now I'm going to do one more drawing. I'm going to reduce this down here. Now I'm going to draw my structure here. And I want to try to get this done fairly quickly. But notice what I'm doing. As I'm doing it, I am working with a harder edge because I don't want there to be any confusion as to what I'm drawing. I want these lines to mostly be kind of hard, structured lines like that. Right there, that's good. Then we'll do another big one here. All right, now I'm going to reduce this point net size down just a little bit here. Now we will go here. All right, now to finish this drawing would normally take me about another day just to get through all of it because it's so much detail in terms of what I'm doing. It would be hard to break it all down. But because of AI, I have the ability to get something done much faster. And I'll show you what I mean here in about another minute. We're going to go from the top because it's kind of cylindrical. Size popping from the bottom there. Just do a little bit here. Keep those a little light. All right, take it from the top. Put a few stalactites coming from the top there as well, because why not? There we go. There we go. Yep, I'm liking that. Liking that a lot. Bam. Here. Now we're going to loosen it up a little bit more. Go here on the top. Pop that on the bottom. Just a little bit there. There we go. Yep. There we go. All right, now this is going to be a little weird here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to start circling out the wall here, because this is like a tunnel, because it's a space station, right? That space station goes all the way here. Watch what I'm going to do. And as it goes back, you'll notice the lines are thinner, right? Now, how many people from seeing this drawing think that this is somehow some super duper detailed drawing? It is not, right? It's actually kind of loose, right? Now, I'm doing it this way because, one, I don't have a lot of time to work on this, but also, two, I want you to be able to see that it is very possible for you to be able to do this as well, because that's the objective. All right, take this here. We're doing good on time, right, Cherie? Okay, this is our background. I'm now going to go in here. I'm going to turn this off here just a little bit. There we go. Now, we're saying the light is coming from the back, right? Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to go here. I'm going to take an airbrush, darker airbrush. And this time what I want to do is this. Everything is still what? A drawing, correct? Still a drawing. It has to be a drawing every time. There we go. Looking good. Now you might say, okay, what am I doing? Why all this line work like this? Because what I'm doing is this is the image prompt that I will be feeding into the software. Okay. All right, that looks pretty good there. I like that. We're going to see how it works. Okay, we got that. Now we're going to go back to our lady here. Well, actually, before we do that, I'm going to output this save as. We're going to go to desktop and we're going to call that text station. BG. And we're going to save this right to the desktop. We're going to allow that. Okay, good. Now we're going to export this as a JPEG. Text station BG. We're good there. Okay, good. All right, I like that. That's pretty hot. Now, one more thing I want to do. I'm going to add a layer here. Now I'm going to go over with a white line here. This one will start giving me the kind of things like that. Yeah, that'll be hot. Boom, bam. Go here to this one. All right, hang on. Almost there. So what I'm doing now is adding ideas for detail. Just a little bit here. Here. Go on the side here. All right, this is good. All right, I'm liking what you guys got here. There we go. Boom. Yep. Go on the top here. think we're good. Yep, I like that. Now let's just do a little bit here. Off in here. Yep. All right, so that's our background. Okay, so it's abstract. Generally, if I was going to paint on top of this, I would have to spend like the next 5 hours refining that image. But I don't have to do that now. Now I can just do this. Let's go export, single layer. I'm going to save it again one more time. Text standing BG. I'm going to replace that. All right, so we got her there. Now we need to come back and draw. There she is, right there. That's good. So now I'm going to go here. I'm going to try to move very quickly on this part here to get her drawn. All right. You might say, oh, my goodness, how is he going to get this done in the time he has remaining? Well, you're going to see. So we're going to go here, make sure we got that. There we go. Yep, I like that. That's good. Okay, good. We're going to go right here on the side, do just like that. Kind of shoulder pads. Have that chest plate there. Remember all that things we went over before? Gonna go right here again. Right now we're gonna go on the side here. And if I remember correctly, there we go. We had like that. That's good. Now the chest plate will come just like this. There we go. Let's take on the side here. We're gonna put up these projectiles here for the beetle element. There we go. So you see how I'm keeping it? The lines have to be more, they have to be defined, but more importantly, I have to give the software something to work from. Right? So now we're going to go on the bottom part here. If I remember this, we're going to have to put up there. Okay, here, that looks good. I'll go on the side here. We have our knee pads. All right, take this part here, that part there. All right, I'm liking this. I'm liking it. Go on the side there. There we go. There we go. All right, now we want to get right here in this part, having her hold this item here, this very cool Egyptian sword. There we go. Go on the side. Yep, that's good. Just like that. Fantastic. All right, almost done here. Right here. Then Cherie has her kick butt boots, she said. Go right here on the part, right here on the part with the membrane here. There we go. Now we go here, make these boots, kind of like give ourselves to kind of the solid heel there. There we go. Let's go on the other side. Now, again, to do an illustration like this takes time, but this part here that I spent a lot of time on showing you guys is just the illustration part. And generally, you would have to do a heck of a lot more to just get that part right. But here, we can just give slight indications of what we're looking for. There we go. Side here. Okay, now let's move in here and get her face right. Make that point there. We're gonna go right. Yeah, that's good. There we go. Very nice. Give her some broad lips. There we go. There we go. The side here. Now, this part here is her ear out. Get the unk there. We'll see if that shows a little small detail there, but that's fine. So right here. There we go. Now, I'm gonna pop that right there. Yep, there we go. And then we'll pop that right off in there. Right there. Perfect. Well, perfect enough. All right, go here. As a matter of fact, I think what I'm going to do, yeah, I'm going to take that on the side. There we go. Yeah, I like that. That's even better. All right. This part here. All right, I think we're almost there. Now watch what I'm about to do here. Whoops. I'm going to reduce this down here, and I'm going to remove that. So there she is. There she is in her line artwork, okay? So watch what I'm going to do here. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try. Now, I'm going to go here on one other layer. Now, I don't know if this will work, but I'm going to try here. I'm going to just put in this object here. You guys remember, and it had that scarab, right? Just like that. And then we had the top part here. And I'm keeping that kind of abstract, right? Right there. And then parts part. Yeah, there we go. We move that up there. And this will be kind of hologram, kind of a hologram. Yeah, kind of holographic. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that's kind of dope. Now, this is on a separate layer, you see? That's on a separate layer, and that's fine. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to save this here. I'm going to export JPEG. I'm going to save this as Ash line. Save. All right, now I'm going to turn off the Beetle section here. And then we're going to do this right here. We're going to export as solid. Ash line solid. All right, now I'm going to turn this on here. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to see. I want to go right through this here. I'm going to grab this, and you're going to see exactly what I'm going to do in just one moment here. Hang on. All I'm doing now is closing up the lines. I'm closing up these lines here. You see? I think we are good here. Let me just make that a little bit sharper. There we go. I think we are good. All right. Now I'm going to move her up here, maybe right there. I'm going to select outside of her. I'm going to give it Command Shift I. And I'm going to fill this with white. There we go. So what we have now is we have that. All right, we see what's happening here. So we have that as our base drawing. Now, I'm going to export this. Here's where we start to get into the, all right, Ash Battle. Okay, good. Now we're going to go here to this software program that I use called VizCom. I'm going to go here to File, actually, let's go back to Workspace. I'm going to go to New File. We're going to start in Studio. Right now, we're only going to do one. I'm going to upload an image, but this time I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the desktop. There it is. Nope, that's just the background here. Let's go. Hang on. Move up. There we go, right there. Got it? Drag, drop. There we go. Now watch what happens here. Ah, you see that pop? I didn't even write that. A warrior in armor holding two swords running through a jagged dark tunnel with light shining from above. Now, let me say this. I didn't write that. The software writes that for you. Is it cheating? 1000% it is cheating. But watch what they do. A female African warrior in armor holding two Egyptian swords, flying, floating through a jagged a high-tech jagged dark tunnel with light shining from behind. All right, everyone see? Are we ready? But we need to add in two things. Photoreal. We're going to go moody. So I'm giving the software something to work from. Watch this. Now, the part, y'all saw the drawing. See that? Now, you might ask, well, Tim, why does it look like my drawing is using a technique called edge detection? Meaning it's literally following the lines in my drawing. Do we see? You know what? I'm going to keep that one. Let's keep that one. But we want to try to play around with it. We're going to say a bald female African warrior in high-tech armor holding two Egyptian swords floating through a high-tech jagged dark tunnel. We're going to say, yeah, that's pretty good. Full body, because I don't want her skin to show. You notice, you see how that went in there? What happens? That's from scraping. When you have all those female characters in video games, what's happening is they're taking that very sexist image to show exposed skin, which makes no sense when you're in warfare. Let's generate again. Ah, that's kind of interesting. That's very interesting. All right, so here's what we're going to do here. I'm going to go with that. Now, I could paint over this in Photoshop, but I'm not going to do that now. With the 2 minutes we have, 2, 3, 5 minutes we have remaining, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to refine. Right? We're going to go right here to here. Going to hit add. So that's added. Okay. Now I want to go to refine. We're going to exit the generation tool. Now, watch what I'm doing here. Watch this. See? See what's happening? It's all there. And I kind of like the fact that these Egyptian swords are not just metal. They're also laser swords, which is kind of cool, right? So now we're going to go here. I'm going to move this to multiply. Cherie, what color tunnel is this?
What color what?
What color? What are you seeing? A purple tunnel, red tunnel? What you got for me?
Purple.
Purple tunnel it is. So now we click here. I'm going to go right here. Watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to take this brush. Right now, it's set to hard, but we want to set it to really soft. We want the size to be pretty big, right? Watch this. Now I'm working here on a layer above it. Hey, that's kind of cool. Right? And then here, I'm going to go back to white here in this section. There we go. All right. That's kind of cool. Now I'm going to erase just a little bit here. Right now, the eraser is very hard, but now I'm moving it to soft. So now I'm going to move in here. Watch this. That was pretty small there. So now I can go in at highlights. You all see what's happening, how this is making my process so much faster? All right, this is good. I'm liking this a lot, but we need to do one more thing here. I like that quite a bit. But now, even though that's cool, I want to add one more layer here. But this time, I'm going to go like that. Yeah, let's move that just a little bit of orange, not too much, not too much. Okay, now we're going to go back to brush. I'm going to take that size down really small here. Now I can go in and do this. I'm sorry, that's set to hardness. Now we want, because what we're going to be doing here are hard edges. Right there. Yep. There we go. Now, the idea is that once I have gotten my imagery to this level, I want to be able to then output this. And right now you can see the image is actually quite loose, but that's all right. I'm going to go here. I'm going to take my eraser. I'm just erase a few things here because some things I want to keep, some elements I want to keep in this. All right. Now that's pretty hot. I like that. But let's go here. Do right off in there. Let's keep some of these here highlights elements coming. There we go. All right, that's good. Now I'm going to go really big here, and I'm going to take that really soft, but really big. Whoops. Sorry about that. Viz come again. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm now going to erase some of that purple there. So now I can add little highlight, things like that. Okay, so the intention would be, once this is done, I would then take this back into Photoshop and do what's called a paint over. But just to make sure the point is made here, I'm going to go here. What color were the wings, by the way, the scarab wings?
They were green and
green. I love that. I know we're almost done here, so let me just take this here. Watch what I'm going to do. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to multiply. Let's take this brush here. There we go. I go right about there. Size will be pretty big. I'm actually going to take this back to normal. There we go. Going to go on the sides, just like that. And right now it's a little wonky, but that's okay because what I would do is literally take it into Photoshop and do what's called a paint over. Now, although I have all these particular things done here, on the side here, right there, you might say, okay, that's kind of crude, and it is. So there are two things I could do with this. I could either go with this and output this as a Photoshop file. Take this back down. Ah, there we go. That's nice. We can stick with this as is, or we can do this. We can generate another iteration. Watch this. Is this cheating? Absolutely, it is cheating. You see what I got there? That's kind of interesting. And in certain ways, this is very useful, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to download this, but then I'm going to go back to this. Now, watch what I'm going to do here. Last thing, and I will let you guys go. File, export, Photoshop. So literally what's happened now is that I did all that work in Viscom. I'm sorry, let me move this right here a little bit to the side here. Hold on. I can import an image, and I'm going to go to downloads. Let's see if we can find it. There it is right there. PNG. Where is it? I know you guys probably can't see it that much right now, but literally I'm able to double click on that. And now I have my image that is rendered out. It is now part of Photoshop, but I can use it as my base to paint on top of. Do we understand? Now I have to spend the next 30 minutes refining that image. Do we follow? Okay, with that, you guys are awesome. I'm going to stop sharing here. Now, I worked on that for about how long? About an hour? The traditional way, that would take 2 days. This way, all of the rendering and elements, that's what takes too long. This particular technique allows me to do things very quickly and to iterate very quickly. Do we follow? Yeah. Notice also when I use the technology, I did not use anyone else's name because I want the artwork to look like my artwork. Got it? All right, with that, I think we're over, but if you all have any final questions, let me know. I can answer them right quick. Fire away.
Hey, Tim, this is a different type of artist question. So it's a way that you just did that also reminds me of how you can use the technology to do sculpture.
Yes.
So I was going to actually be a consultant for an idea that I have. So I'll be coming back towards you.
Okay. All right. One other thing I didn't do here, Cherie, I need you to give me 1 second to let me show you this here. Now I'm going to go back to Workspace. I'm going to go to a new file. All right, let's see if we can find it here. Come on, buddy. You're almost there, man. Let's go here. Going to go to desktop. Where's your illustration that you sent me? There we go, right there. Now I'm going to do an export to custom export. That'll be JPEG. There we go. Close.
Tim,
yes.
You earlier had said that this drawing is in public domain, meaning that anyone can use it.
Yes.
Meaning
If
that
you guys want to do something with it, go for it. I don't care. We'll knock sales out.
So
to anybody.
How does someone access it?
Oh, I'm talking about the concept. I'll send it to Cherie, and you guys can put it up. It ain't that big a deal to me. Okay. Start in studio. We're gonna do this. Watch this, Cherie. You ready?
We're ready.
I'm not good. Watch this. Abstract face sketch with large eyes, hoop earring, color hair, and a striped neck accessory on lined paper.
Okay.
I'm going to eliminate on lined paper. Ready? So this is for abstract, but I'm going to change it in just a moment. All right, that's abstract. Watch this. Photoreal eyes, hoop earring. I'm going to say moody. Okay, let's try it again. So what it's going to do now is taking your drawing and it's going to hopefully do something interesting with this. So now as oh, wow, look at that. So now we're getting into the racial bias, right? Photoreal Black woman with large eyes, hoop earring. Hang on. Are we good? Hang on. So, but you see what it's doing is actually following the lines in your drawings. You see that? Interesting. Interesting. Okay, with that, you guys have been awesome. Thank you so much. All right, Cherie, I'll upload everything in a bit, okay?
Thank you so much. That was wonderful demonstration of AI and illustration in the 21st century. Love it. Love it. Thank you. And
All right, take care.
congratulations
Bye,
to all of
everybody.
you.
Yeah, thank you. I
Bye.
appreciate your drawing.
Thank
You're a
you.
wonderful artist.
Thank you. You guys have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
Yeah, you too.
All right, bye.
Bye.